Yum, 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 yum.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Smooth Jazz with Kat.
Hello, everyone. Grab yourself a glass of soju and a big pint of beer to drop that soju in and buckle up for a crazy ride. Cheers, babes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Look how fancy you look.
I tried to make myself fancy because I've been having a bit of a bum week, and I needed to feel something. And
I needed to feel something. I hear you. I feel like the last 2 weeks have been a little odd vibes-wise. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Does it help being a principessa?
Yeah. It does, actually.
You could say widowy. The princess is here.
Hello. This week we're... No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to jump the gun and say what we're doing just because I wanted to do the voice, but we should do it according to the book. According to the laws of Genovia.
The very obscure, random, whatever the fuck laws of Genovia. Yeah, let's do it by those laws. Anyways, I mean, we can talk about it because I feel like we're going to talk so much about this movie. I just did it because I realized I went so much.
Take the glasses off so we can see your emotes. You just went from Blues Brothers to like 1950s CIA agent by taking off those glasses. For those of you who are only listening, Kat is dressed up like Hector Elizondo's character. What's his name?
His name is Joe, but I was specifically being Shades, the guy with the sunglasses.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but I could be Hector too, but then I would have had to put on a bald cap.
Yeah, that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
We love the bit, but sometimes the bit takes a bit too much time.
And then if I take off the glasses, and if I had even one guitar, I feel like I would look like Boy Genius.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
What a very versatile outfit you're wearing.
Right? Also, when I put this on, so I originally... Here, I look like Boy Genius.
What's going on with these... Okay, yeah. You know in 30 Rock when Liz Lemon pulls up her sweater accidentally when she's taking off her jacket and she's just wearing like a collar dickie
like
underneath?
A dickie?
Yeah, that's what it felt like when you put off your blazer just now and it had short sleeve shirt underneath. It was like a little shocking.
I was gonna go for the full sleeve, but I just know how hot it gets when we record. And I'm like, I don't even know how long this jacket is gonna last on. But anyways.
We'll see.
But yeah, very versatile outfit. But when I had originally, like, I was scrambling.
Right now you look like my mom when she's texting. Glasses on the face, sunglasses on the dome.
Hey, glasses like low.
Yeah, really low on the nose. Treacherously low on the nose, like they're gonna fall off. Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah.
Oh, like this. This is how they text, actually.
Text set to like 65 point
Bro,
font.
It's so fucking big. Like font on the Statue of Liberty big.
You do look like you're in a band or you're like a cool youth pastor.
It's my dream. Sometimes I feel like I talk like a youth pastor.
Like what?
Hold on. Like this.
Oh yeah, roll the sleeves of the blazer up. Short sleeve blazer.
I need to backwards sit on the chair. I don't remember the name of that character Molly Shannon played in SNL, but it was the lady comic of the 80s. And she always had her blazer rolled up. I've started 1,000 million sentences and have not finished one single one.
It's literally okay, girl.
Preaching to the literal choir.
Yeah.
When I had just put on the tie, like Ian had to tie the tie for me because I couldn't remember in the moment.
Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. And I just put on the tie and I had just the short sleeve and I was like, should I wear ties? I kind of like it. You could say I kind of like it.
I feel like that was like a big look in the 2000s. There was like a lot of like bands, like Y2K bands doing that look. Or like they would wear the tie really loose, like really, really loose. Why do I feel like McFly maybe wore ties? Am I making that up?
No, that's exactly accurate. That's exactly who I was thinking of without even knowing. I'm always actually thinking of McFly without realizing I'm thinking of McFly. But that's exactly right. You're right. Like the mid 2000s, which is I think when this movie came out.
Welcome back, loyal citizens of Genovia, to VomCom, the podcast where we talk about the romantic comedies that we love to hate.
And hate to love. I'm Kat.
And I'm Molly, and today, and this week, and
tonight,
it's Saturday night! Oh my god. Okay.
Boy Genius is here! So stick around, we got a great show.
And this week, we watched Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement.
Molly, how many times have you seen this movie?
I don't know.
The limit does not exist?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. Also, literally Limitless. Limitless starring Bradley Cooper 2011, whenever that movie came out.
I was going to say, if you knew the exact year that Limitless came out, I would be so impressed because that's a bit niche.
Bro, I was right, 2011.
Oh my god. I can't believe you
I don't know
that.
I don't know if you know this, but Limitless means a lot to me.
Does it really?
No. Sorry for lying. Actually, it does, because I like the idea of just taking a pill and then being better and unlocking your mind.
Yeah. Your potential.
Your potential. Your untapped potential.
Unlocking your executive function.
Oh. Yeah, so have seen this movie 1,000 million times. I haven't seen it in a while. Still very much in love with this movie. Still very much enjoy this movie. Just watched it again, fresh, like half an hour ago. And laughed, cried.
I know.
And gushed. Like,
oh, okay.
Like that.
Blushed, gushed. Right,
Blushed,
okay.
Gushed.
Yeah.
I was going to say upstairs and downstairs.
Chris Pine?
Chris Pine?
Big hair Chris Pine. 2004 era Chris Pine. 2004 era Anne Hathaway. 2004 era Julie Andrews. Great combination.
Amazing combination. Big hair, big head Chris Pine. You know, there's a scene in the movie where all of the Pavos come to speak to the queen.
Yeah.
All of the Pavos come to speak to the queen, and one of them is the Frenchiest girl. And she goes, "A watermelon for your table." The watermelon actually is the size of Chris Pine's head in this movie. It is huge.
He's so handsome, so proportional, but his head is so big.
His head is sense. There's something about his hair. I can't remember how old he was in this movie, but there's something about his hair in this particular movie where it's like up here. Like it's like a high top, but for white dudes, you know?
He got like the roller, like shark brush and rolled through the fields. He kind of looks like a Thunderbird puppet. Do you know that like marionette show from the 60s?
I'm looking up right now. Thunderbird.
Just do a quick Google and tell me what you think.
Wow. Yes. That is exactly what he looks. He like gets more handsome though as the movie goes on. Did you notice that?
And I say it, but like with love I say this, of course.
Yeah.
He does get more handsome. One of my likes is something that I'll bring up later, just to like have a moment for that moment.
Yeah. For holding space for it. This movie was very shaping to my young brain. This might have been his first movie. Like his first like leading role.
Is that why he did that weird accent?
What accent?
It was kind of a non-accent, but it was like he wanted to give royalty. He wanted to give European, but like without leaning too much into it. So it was too fakey. He was just like, tell me your deepest desires. It's like not quite an accent, but like a little bit weird knowing what his voice actually sounds like.
Yeah, this was his first movie.
Wow, what a debut.
I know, right? Okay, let me read you the log line. So this is from IMDb, and it says, now settled in Genovia, Princess Mia faces a new revelation. She is being primed for an arranged marriage to an English suitor.
It's a bit misleading. I think they should say something about the fact that she needs to get married to become queen. Like, it doesn't say anything about her motivation. It's like, why is she in this predicament?
Yeah, not a good one. So yeah, Chris Pine's first movie, obviously not Anne Hathaway's first movie. Obviously not Julie Andrews' first movie. I was gonna say Jane Austen.
Girl, close enough.
Fair enough.
I feel like this could have been a Jane Austen novel. If she had done a slightly different tack, it's like enemies to lovers plus a charming guy who turns out to be bad. Switch up the formula a little bit and you have a guy who seems bad who turns out to be good and is also charming. And then her person who she's kind of aligned with for marriage. They both walk away from each other because they aren't actually in love. I feel like that would fit in her wheelhouse.
I agree with that, actually. That's a very good assessment. And I'm trying to think if any of her works are kind of like it. Because really the Enemies one would be Pride and Prejudice. It's like Pride and Prejudice-esque, you know?
And kind of Sense and Sensibility. And also, what's the other one I'm thinking of?
Emma?
Yeah. It's kind of the same premise with different set dressing.
Well, let me tell you who friggin' wrote this movie, if you didn't know.
Let's get into it.
Okay, wait, let's go to the beginning. So, The Princess Diaries, the original movie, Princess Diaries 2001, Garry Marshall. Garry Marshall 2001 is based off of a series of books by Meg Cabot, a young adult book series of the same name. The first book is called The Princess Diaries Volume 1, then Volume 2, Princess in the Spotlight, Volume 3, Princess in Love, Princess in Waiting, Project Princess, Princess in Pink, Princess in Training, The Princess Present.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot.
Party Princess, Sweet 16 Princess, Valentine Princess.
Wait, all those other princesses happened before she turned 16?
I guess so.
God damn.
I know. Valentine Princess. Princess on the Brink. That's so funny. Princess on the Brink
crashes out.
I was just about to say that. Princess on the Brink. Princess Mia. Forever Princess. Royal Wedding. And then in 2023, The Quarantine Princess.
Pause.
Yeah.
How long have these books been going on?
So the first one, Princess Diaries Volume 1, came out in 2000.
Yeah.
Before The Quarantine Princess, the last book that came out was 2015.
Wouldn't it be so funny if all of the series is like this lighthearted, like roam if you want to, like girl coming of age, Princess Mia being silly slapstick comedy, and then Quarantine Princess is like her shut up in like this situation room at the castle trying to figure out how to handle all these people who are in like dire straits and their country is cut off and they have low resources and she needs to figure out how to feed her population. People are dying. She's having these moments where she's just like, staring out the window, verklempt.
What even is the Quarantine Princess about? Like, is she
Great question.
running Genovia? Like, is it even about the same
not a
girl?
queen by now?
Exactly. But like, is she just running Genovia, or is it her daughter and her daughter's navigating high school while being a princess and being in quarantine? Like,
online course princess.
Princess Zoom class princess.
Unprecedented times princess.
The princess recorded her most heartfelt emotions while dealing with her husband's quarantine after exposure to the virus. Girl, what the fuck?
So wait, is he sick or is he wait, stop. Pause. Her husband, so she's still the princess. She's not the queen.
I guess she's the queen. She's the queen, but she's always the princess in our heart. The people's princess.
Right.
Okay.
So her husband, he's not like dying of like,
I guess,
emphysema or something. He literally just was exposed to the virus. And so he's in quarantine. And so she's like, my husband is in another room and it's really hard on me.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, a section of the diary of Princess Mia Thermopolis of Genovia fell into the hands of Meg Cabot, the princess's royal biographer. Oh my God. I feel like we're so far left of the point we're supposed to be on, but this is crazy. I am going to go into like a Google spiral after we stop recording.
This is very meta. This is like Banged in the Butt by My Book series, but with Meg Cabot.
Girl, not Banged in the Butt mentioned.
Is that what it's called exactly?
Banged in the Butt by My Butt. Imagine if we just had a podcast or we had a live Twitch stream and it's just us coming up with things and then just Googling it and talking about it. That would be so funny.
Wait, should we? I feel like we'd have like not that many people watching, but a few really solid soldiers, you know?
Yeah. So just FaceTiming our friends.
Yeah, it's just basically us, what we normally do anyways, all the time already. Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt by Chuck Tingle. And
I have a confession to make, Molly.
Please make a confession.
I am Chuck Tingle.
Since TikTok is going away anyways, I guess it's time that I'll just make my confession.
I am Chuck Tingle. I pounded my own butt with my butt.
Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt. And please tell me other titles. Oh my God, there's a Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt podcast.
Collab?
It's called Pounded in the Butt by My Own Podcast with Chuck Tingle.
I think
Here
collab.
we go, baby. Now we're getting into the real meat and potatoes.
This was a fake out. This is not actually about the Princess Diaries 2 royal engagement. This is about Pounded in the Butt by my own butt podcast. This is about podcasting in my butt. What are you looking at that is making you look like that?
I think he has a series. The combination of words that I'm reading right now is very mind-boggling to me, and I don't know what I'm looking at. And it seems like Chuck Tingle has written a series of books very similar to the Pounded in My Butt series,
Okay.
but to do with a fictional President Donald Trump and also a Loch Ness monster?
I've seen enough.
President Donald Loch Ness Trump pounds America's butt. The sequel, slammed in the butt by Donald Trump's attempt to avoid accusations of plagiarism by removing all facts or concrete plans from his Republican National Convention speech.
Girl.
Another one. Another sequel. Donald Trump pounded in the butt by the handsome Russian T-Rex who also peed on his butt and then blackmailed him with the video of his butt getting peed on. 2017. 2017 also. Redacted in the butt by redacted under Trump administration. Donald Trump pounded in the butt by his fabricated wiretapping scandal made up to redirect focus away from his seemingly endless unethical connections to Russia. 2017.
I feel like I'm having a stroke.
That's not even... Do you want me to just really push your stroke over the edge? Princess on the Brink?
I'm a princess on the brink.
Donald Trump's anal impeachment 2019. What the fresh hell is happening?
Bro, we gotta get fucking Mr. Chuck Tingle on the pod right now.
Chuck Tingle is prolific. He has multiple publications each year. There is a lot. Throwing it back to 2 episodes ago when we were talking about inanimate objects alive and having romances, it seems like a combination of inanimate objects having romantic relationships, politics, and like cryptids.
Oh my God.
So, okay.
I don't even know if I can continue with the podcast. I'm so discombobulated in my butt.
I feel like I'm having like hot flashes right now. I can't look away from this list. You can't imagine. You can't, if you're not looking at the list, you cannot imagine what the list looks like.
This is so crazy. Do you need to take a minute?
There's no way. We're going to do a mini episode just about this list. We're not even going to read any of these books. We're just going to talk about the list. This is a treasure trove. I am speechless. I wish I hadn't Googled it because now it's the only, it's the only thing I'm going to think about.
Can you guys chime off in the comments if you want just a mini side podcast of Molly and I reading all of these horrendous, crazy books that we definitely need to get Amy on. Just these books about the most wild things, like Pounded in the Butt by My Butt, The Door and I don't think that that's the title, but it's like, there are other ones, Pumpkin Spice Up My Puss or something.
Jesus. Are you serious? No.
Pumpkin Pie romance book.
Please, what's happening?
There are so many books with the title pumpkin in it. Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which is something we sold at the bookstore. His Pumpkin Pie, great. One just called Pumpkin Pie. The Cafe Between Pumpkin and Pie. Okay, Queen. In Her Pumpkin Pie? What the fuck?
Is that the one you were talking about?
No. These are literally not even the ones I was talking about.
These white bitches.
Pumpkin Chiffon Pie Murder.
Okay, I'm in. First of all, I've never had a pumpkin chiffon pie, and it sounds delightful. I would love that. Second of all, I love murder mystery. It's probably in the fall season, so like they're all wearing sweaters. Cute. I love it.
In Her Pumpkin Patch. Oh God.
Enough of this.
I know we gotta stop.
Enough of this in her. Keep it out of her.
In her. I barely know her.
I barely am the door to her apartment. Okay, that's too niche.
Hold on. I have to tell you, Door and Woman romance book.
I love how last time we were talking about this, you were like, enough talking about this Dora and woman romance. And now it's coming up again and you're like hacking into the mainframe to find more information to share.
Guess what it's called?
Is it called Doorway to Love?
It's a pun.
Is it
one word?
Framed.
Oh, good one, but no.
Is it something about a knob?
Oh, also good one. It's called Unhinged.
That sounds about right, honestly.
Unhinged is a paranormal romance story that involves a human woman getting it on with her front door, which later turns into a guy.
Oh, it does turn into a guy. Good for her.
Good for them.
Yeah, but now she doesn't have a door.
My sunglasses!
No!
How will I protect the princess? I am so serious, like, not to add any more to our plates, but I am so serious. I'm so serious about us having a podcast. Maybe we don't even have to read it. Maybe we're just, like, doing a live stream or something, and it's just us talking, like, thinking up of things and being like, is there a romance book based on this? And Amy has to be a part of it.
Maybe we should just start freestyling a bit more with this podcast. We have a formula. Let's mix it up. Let's do mini apps. Let's smosh it, you know? Turn it into a franchise with mini series and live games and shit.
Let's do mini apps.
I love it.
I don't know how much of this we're going to keep
in.
As
if we could ever do a mini app, because we yap so goddamn much, no app would be mini.
No app would be mini.
Us girls.
Us girls. We are all Shanices.
Have you ever heard the full-length version of that Shanice video?
I don't think so.
There's two girls in the backseat of his cab. One is Shanice and one is the other one. And then after he tells Shanice to shut it place, he then goes on to like rip her. He compliments the other girl and he's like, you're like something out of a dream. And Shanice, you're like something out of a sewer. Like it keeps getting crazier. I'll send you the full version.
And Shanice is sitting there like...
Shanice is like...
gagged.
Her wig is slipping back with every jab.
Shanice. I just keep finding lip products on my table and I'm on my table.
Putting them on. You're just making a potion on your face with all the lip products.
That is what I do. People go, what are you wearing? And I'm like, oh. And I pull out like 4 things.
You don't have one lip combo. Your lip combo is combo.
My lip combo is all of them.
What the heck hell were we talking about?
Okay. So, like 15 minutes later, Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. A couple of things. 1. The Squeakle 2 Princess Diaries, both directed by Garry Marshall, who you will know of Pretty Woman fame, Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve.
He's got a laundry list. New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Georgia Rule, Princess Diaries 2, Raising Helen, The Princess Diaries, Runaway Bride. I don't know what Dear God is, but Pretty Woman. Beaches, Overboard, Laverne and Shirley, something called Mean Jeans, which I love. And he did a few episodes.
You got some mean jeans.
You got some. She is young and mean, wearing jeans.
The screenplay for Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement was written by our own Shonda Rhimes.
Princess Diaries 2 is in the Shondaverse.
In the Shondaverse, along with Crossroads, Grey's Anatomy, Station 19, Private Practice, Scandal. Escándalo. Yeah, so you could say fucking royalty, Hollywood royalty. This is a very staple Garry Marshall movie. If anyone has seen any of his films, it has all of the same things. Quirky side characters, quirky moments, funny bits and gags, throwaway lines here and there, random scenes of animals and people doing stuff while the main characters are talking, which I like because it's like interesting, you know?
It feels like an interlude.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch a Ghibli movie and there's like 30 seconds of just like a little alleyway with some grass growing and like a cat walks through, it doesn't need to be there, but it is because it's nice and it's like a little break for your brain. I like it.
Yeah. So do I. It's almost like theater, because the whole point in theater, and like this is something I remember my drama teacher telling me, even if you're the smallest side character, even if you're in the chorus or whatever, when you are on stage, you should always be doing something so that if anyone in the audience is looking at you, it like adds to it. You know, you should never be like watching the actors just doing the main thing. So I like this thing that he does where he just like cuts to little moments. Like he cuts to the cat. He cuts to Fat Louie. He cuts to Maurice just doing like quirky little things. He cuts to like the guard outside the door, all that kind of stuff. I guess I just started talking about my likes.
Let's get into it.
Why not? He's a very like accessible director. And from what I've seen of the behind the scenes like footage and special features and stuff for his movies, he has a fun set, and that's what you like. Like everyone loves to work with him.
It seems like he like working on this movie seems like it would be a very fun, lighthearted, good-natured time.
Yeah, that's literally what it seems like all the time, and that's why he gets all of these big names, because they just want to have fun. You know, sometimes you just want to feel like work is camp.
Sometimes girls just want a pretty woman. Princess Diaries 1, Princess Diaries 2.
What else do I like? I like physical gags. I like that whenever there is like a tender moment, it actually is really heartfelt and earnest and sincere, enough so that I actually cry. Like I cry every time, you know?
Very earnest moments.
Yeah. What else do you like? What do you like?
I have so many. I have so many.
Because I'm sure I'll agree with you.
I loved that she was junk journaling at the beginning. She had her journal with her little, it wasn't really junk journaling. She just had her princess diary with like pictures of her friends in it. And I thought that was cute. Yes. Mm-hmm. I loved that Hector Elizondo was in this movie. I loved his performance. He's such a delight. Him. The Princess Diaries is, yes, it's Julie Andrews and it's Anne Hathaway, but it's also Hector Elizondo. You know?
I agree.
I loved that in the fictional country of Genovia, there was a Panera bread. Love that. The costume designer did a great job and had a lot of fun on this movie, I think.
Great job. Outfits, amazing.
There were a few really noteworthy ones, but just overall speaking, the costume designer, the lighting designer, and the person who was doing the soundtrack, they just loved Julie Andrews and they loved Anne Hathaway. They really set them up. When Julie Andrews does her first entrance in the movie, it has like this soft, evocative, beautiful, timeless, like very royal music playing. And then she's got the soft focus lighting and she comes in and she's wearing this grande dame, almost like a evening wear muumuu, a caftan of some kind, beaded down to the floor. So chic. And I love that she comes in and she does a fit check for her entourage. She literally does a little spin. She goes, "What do you think?" Basically, as if they all haven't seen her, you know, dressed up like a million times. Very good. Very good, Your Majesty. Very beautiful. Very beautiful, very powerful. And so that was really cute. I love when she did the fit check. And then when you see Princess Mia's first scene where you actually see her face, because they kind of have her face like hidden for the majority of the intro. When you first see her face, she walks in at the top of this staircase in the grand hall of the Palace of Genovia. And she's wearing this red dress that is just... The costume designer was eating up every scene. It's so beautiful. She's giving Audrey Hepburn. She looks beautiful. She looks stunning. They just did her really, really right in this movie. Except for that one poncho. That was a bit of a jump scare, but we won't talk about that.
Can I say something
we
brave?
Will talk
Is
about
this
that?
A safe space?
Oh, what?
Is this a safe space?
Yes.
I hear you on the poncho front, but when I was younger and I saw that poncho, I was like, she's making that poncho look great. It was like one of the things I wanted so badly was to have that like, oh, like I'm like an earthy hippie princess. I have a poncho that I macrameed, crocheted, whatever.
Oh, this whole thing? I didn't even think about it. I just threw it on. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something about it.
The old effortless poncho. To me, watching at the time, I probably had like her casual wear. I probably had like 90% of that wardrobe. But like looking back, I just look at it and I go, a lot of it is very underwhelming and frumpy when this is literally a person from San Francisco in like Y2K era who is now a royal. You could do some really fun stuff with it and have it be kind of chic, but she was wearing a lot of like slouchy cardigans, plain baby tees with just a slightly flared or bootcut jean. And I'm like, I'm so bored by these casual outfits. The poncho was definitely noteworthy at the very least.
I just was like, I think it's maybe because I watched this movie so much that it's so cemented in my brain. And I was like, Anne Hathaway looks good in a poncho. Even though I feel like I tried to wear a poncho when I was younger. Like, I don't know. Ponchos were so big.
They were
when
huge.
we were younger. Huge. So I definitely tried to wear one. I look like Ugly Betty in the first episode of Ugly Betty, wearing her Guadalajara.
I don't think I have any photos, but like when I was trying to do the poncho thing in high school, like 'cause I was part of it too, the wave, you know, I remember the poncho. I remember trying to make the poncho happen. It was a thing. If you weren't alive then, you wouldn't know. But anyways.
If you weren't alive?
I don't know. No one's listening to this podcast who's younger than us, but... But, like, some kids don't know who the Spice Girls are. They're not going to understand ponchos,
you're right.
Okay?
No, you're right.
My mom had a poncho that she had given to me because she never wore it because it was unique.
Yeah.
It was...
Unique.
Let me paint a picture for you. It was a fuzzy, woolen, brown and cream poncho from Peru with llamas on it with matching leg warmers. And yes, I did try to wear them together. Yes, I did.
And were you the cuntiest girl in school?
I was not popular. Especially not that day. I was not. I will say I was not. The other girls were wearing like Hollister baby hoodies with like gems on them and low-rise jeans. This was before Ugly Betty came out, but when I watched that episode of Ugly Betty, I had a Raven Simone flashback to me. Picture that outfit I just described with boot-cut jeans tucked into the leg warmers, ballet flats, red for some reason, my Cabbage Patch doll haircut, and the skinniest acetate glasses that were like a mauve color because I didn't want plain glasses because I wanted to be like cool, unique. And it was definitely unique. She was experimenting.
Did you go to a Catholic high school where you didn't have to wear a uniform?
We went to a Catholic high school where we did have to wear uniforms, except once a month on a Friday, we would get to have dress down days where you paid $2 to get to wear your own clothes. Yeah.
Yes. And you used one of your Fridays
one
for
of my
poncho.
precious commodity Fridays spent on a poncho, a Peruvian brown and cream colored llama fuzzy poncho leg warmer moment.
I would absolutely die for a photo, but I know you said there isn't any. I would absolutely commission you to make a drawing of what you look like.
I will recreate a drawing of what it looked like. And I will also tell you that, one, I have a distinct memory of there was this one girl that I went to high school with who was very, very nice and very sweet. I don't think she meant this in a bad way. I think she meant it in a nice way. But one time I had bought these more ballet flats. I had bought these ballet flats that had like ribbons on them that like went up my leg. They tied up my leg. And I had this like little frilly mini skirt, white tights. I was trying to do like a ballet girl look. Okay.
You're so cool.
I had a subscription to Nylon magazine and I thought, oh, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them what's up. They're not going to know what hit them. And she came up to me while I was wearing that outfit, and she so sweetly said, Molly, your fashion is so interesting. I never know what you're going to wear. And she, I think, meant it in a nice way. And she's a very sweet girl. And at the time, I took it in a nice way. But in retrospect, I'm like, oh, that is a summary of my, like, fashion exploration era. You never know what she's gonna do next. A little unpredictable.
She's keeping us all on our toes. We don't know how we feel.
Yeah.
I think it was brave of you. And not in a way that's like, oh, you're so brave. It's like you were out there doing your own fucking thing while everyone was a fucking cog in the wheel of Hollister and Abercrombie and TNA. Ugh.
I didn't mind that people wanted to look the way everyone else looked, but I was like, I don't. That couldn't be me. I need to try new things. I need to do some alchemy with fashion. What are we talking about? Leg warmers? What are we saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, what a time to be alive.
Thank you for sharing.
What the heck are we talking about? What movie? I can't
Pumpkin in her pie.
Pumpkin princess for Christmas. Pumpkin pie princess. Can't stop touching my hair.
I'm always touching my hair.
I'm literally so out of it right now.
I know I felt so weird.
Right? You too? Okay.
Yeah,
At least we're in this together, sis.
I almost texted you earlier to be like, I feel so weird.
I too feel weird. Today, bro, I had the worst fucking day. Everyone was on my fucking nerves, bro.
Why are we even doing this?
I don't know.
Why didn't you text me?
Because I wanted to talk about the Princess Diaries.
I know.
No, we can talk about it. We're literally 56 minutes in and we haven't said a damn thing about the movie.
But that's what I mean, is that we've been talking about pumpkining in her pie.
What were we talking about? We're talking about fashion. I did not think that the hair reveal that they did in this movie, trying to replicate the iconicness of the hair reveal in Class under the bucket hat in the first movie, was as impactful, especially because they kind of teed it up so that her hair reveal at the wedding was supposed to be like quite extraordinary, but it was literally just like a low bun underneath like a coronet and a big veil. So I was like, I don't really know why they did that. But there was other fashion moments that I was pretty happy about.
If there's one thing about Garry Marshall, is that his movies are very formulaic. They are familiar for a reason. He makes movies so that you watch them and are entertained and like feel good things, and then you can move on with your life. He's not a Christopher Nolan where 10 years after Tenet, we're all still like, what the fuck was Tenet? You know?
Yeah. He's not trying to Denis Villeneuve his way through Hollywood. He's happy to make people no think.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. We need.
Rest in peace.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence for Garry Marshall.
No, for real. The world lost a real one. Also, rest in peace, David Lynch. It's worth a mention. The dress she wore at her coronation, moving swiftly onwards. The dress she wore at her coronation, I want it.
Yeah.
I want that dress.
And the like cape, which is as big as the whole country of Genovia itself. Amazing.
Yeah. So those are some of the fashion moments I liked. Can
I bring up another fashion moment?
Please.
Her dresses, like I know we talked about like the major dresses, her simple dresses, her pink dress that she wore to the...
With the little flutter sleeves?
Yeah, with the little flutter sleeves. You know, I love a flutter sleeve.
So feminine and girly.
Yeah, that pink dress, amazing. It's like the exact shape that really suits Anne Hathaway. And then her blue dress.
The V-neck one?
The V-neck one in the archery scene.
Yeah. You know how they say, like, if you don't know how to style yourself, look at a celebrity who has, like, the same, like, color scheme as you. Anne Hathaway is that for me. And they really did a good job on her. Like, the red dress, even though I love it, red is definitely not a color for, like, a clear spring, such as myself or Miss Hathaway. She somehow rocked it because she's just very beautiful. And it looked amazing. But, like, all the other colors in this movie, that pink, that blue, those desaturated kind of like pastel-y colors are just like so complimentary to her.
I think you can do that same red, because anything lighter than that red, like this red, you guys could not do, I think. The deepness of that red definitely helps with the coloring. And I know your aversion to red. I know you like the color red on other people, and it's not for you, but I respectfully disagree. I think if you wore that deep red, you would look vampiric.
I can do a dark red or a more purpley red, maroon, burgundy. I can do that. Yeah. But I don't like go for it, you know?
That's fine. And you don't have to. You don't have to wear your bright red Guadalajara poncho.
Do you know how much I would love to rock a full red monochromatic, like hot red? Like the saturation is so strong that it's a little bit orangey almost, that kind of red. I love that color. I think it's so friggin' cool. Does it look good on me? No. Would I love to wear a full outfit of it? Yes. Will I? No, because I know it doesn't suit me. There's other colors that I can do. But anyways,
I would like to challenge you. I want to see you in something like that color. And let's see. You know how like people, they're like allergic to carrots and then they just eat a little carrot every day? They're exposing themselves.
That was me trying to microdose red by doing lipstick. And I had so many red lipsticks that one day I just threw them all away because I was like, not for me, babes.
Not for me. I need to see with my own eyes. I look like... They look like swimming goggles.
Tucked in ears.
I'm shy.
For some reason, it reminds me of like a Muppet or like a King Charles Spaniel.
You look like a King Charles.
Yeah.
I fully understand what you're saying.
Right. I'm going to rapid fire through my likes.
Yeah, do it.
Let me hit you with some likes.
Let me.
Mia's suite at the castle. It was all right. But the closet was the blueprint for all of my dreams, my preteen dreams. Okay. Any closet that has a little remote to control things, where do I sign up? What are we talking about?
The only thing I feel like the closet was missing was like rotating a la Cher. Yeah.
Another thing I loved, the Viscount Mabry was a cartoon villain. He was Wile E. Coyote style villainous.
I love him.
The very first time we meet him, he goes, "Careful, Princess Mia, someone might try to take your crown." And they are playing this cartoonish music in the background, like dun 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 dun. It's so funny and heavy-handed. I was like, foreshadowing. But then they didn't even let it be foreshadowing, because as soon as she went, "Oh, thanks, I'll take that," takes her crown and walks away, he goes, "Someone like me."
I know. Full out on the dance floor, people fully surrounding him, and he's like, "Someone like me." He's so cartoonish. It's so funny. All of his lines, like most of the lines that I wrote down were a lot of his.
Yeah, a lot of his.
He's very intense. It's exactly the kind of villain you need in like a pre-teen girl movie about princesses, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. And that actor, I can't remember who he is, but he put his whole Viscount into it.
John Rhys Davies.
He sounds very important.
His IMDb picture is like this.
Show me. Ah! Let me look.
He's like,
Oh, yes.
He's going, who, me?
Who, me? What else has he been in?
A lot.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Gimli.
Yeah.
That's why I know him. I think he plays Baloo in the Jungle Book. Baloo.
I like the fact that when Mabry was like plotting with Nicholas, his maid reached around the door frame to eavesdrop. Again, so cartoonish and funny. Picture in a cartoon, fingers wrapping around the edge of a door frame, and then a head comes out like that.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the maid. Practically sideways. Very funny. Yep. I like the scene where Joe confesses his love to the queen. That was a bombshell to me when I first watched it. I went, I
know.
Gasp. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's true. And then I also like that they had a Royal Hall mattress surfing ramp ready to go.
It's like royal tradition because her father and his brothers did it.
King Rupert, may he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. Yeah, I love it. I love the sleepover. I love all the little princesses. One of the things I was trying to do when I was getting ready, you know, like the face gems?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to eyelash glue 2 face gems on my teeth because I was trying to recreate that girl saying she wanted to put diamonds in her braces.
Oh my god, I love the way that you pay attention to these little details. So
because
good.
I'm really scrambling because I don't have like the obvious things like a tiara. So I really just came in here with no idea. It was like 1 minute before we were supposed to start, and I was like, what do I have? Calculating. And I was like, sunglasses, blazer.
Improv baby.
Improv baby. This is Black Box Theater. I'm so sorry.
No, I love it.
My theater kid is showing.
I have a few more likes. Okay.
Please.
I love that in the duration of their romance between Nicholas and Mia, they were kind of at odds, right? Mm-hmm. Because he was trying to take the throne. She was like, no. And then he was like, okay, but...
He said, give me that crown. And she said,
And then he said, haha, just kidding, unless. And then they had the parade by the orphanage where she talked to the babies. And everyone loves her, and they did da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, while the parade continued.
Song written by Avril Lavigne, Canadian punk princess Avril Lavigne, given to Kelly Clarkson.
Generously.
Avril Lavigne wrote it and went, this doesn't sound like me in my album. Yeah. I'm going to give it to Kelly Clarkson.
And Avril Lavigne is a philanthropist.
Yeah, and then went on behind these hazel eyes. Wish formative to these very brown eyes.
I love that. Bring it back. Yeah.
Bring what back?
No, bring it back around. Like bring it all full circle. You know?
Relating back to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, bring back the music? Okay. I'll listen to it again. I was planning to.
So they're having this thingy, this antagonism. And then she's like, I despise you. You irritate me. I don't like you at all.
You know how you talk to your long-term partner?
Yeah, the same way. And then he gives her one compliment about how she interacted with the orphans, and she immediately folded. I thought that was very funny.
I thought it was very funny and relatable to real life.
Would you fold for Chris Pine? Bitch,
Would I fold for Chris Pine?
Was I ever flat? Was I ever uncreased? No, I was folded. Duh.
The only time I'd be flat is on my back for that man.
I feel the same. I feel as powerfully and strongly as you do. Like laundry in a pile, like, folded.
Okay, we're gonna like jump into the romance, but remember when she smacked him with the fan and he just had like the paper program and she smacked him and she's like, I love you. And he went, I love you. His face when he smacked her was so funny. So funny. Anyways.
Every single time we see Chris Pine, he is carrying, he is throwing his everything into these roles. Doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter how silly goofy, he's putting everything into them. He's a very, honestly, good actor, and I didn't realize how good of an actor he was until I started critically rewatching these movies, because I had always liked him, but I like a lot of things that aren't technically good. Chris Pine's acting skills and Anne Hathaway's acting skills are both very good. They have a lot of really good actors in this movie. I'm watching how much he has these like little micro expressions and all these little things. He's never just idly standing there, you know? He's really doing it all. And I'm just like, dang, Chris is a good actor, right?
He's either longingly, yearningly looking at the main girl, or he's scrunching up his little face comedically. Yeah, and that's what you want from a rom-com actor. Yeah. And I would like to say something. I don't think it's going to sound controversial, but it's not, because you're going to agree with me wholeheartedly. I think he was our original Glenn Powell.
Why would you say something so brave yet so controversial?
Because that's how I like to be. I'm an Aquarius sun.
Free thinker. Nobody thinks what I think, except for me.
Nobody thinks what I think.
What you think. I think what you think. What do you think? I think Glenn Powell, Chris Pine. One hemisphere of my brain, Glenn Powell. The other one, Chris Pine. Together, boom, Chris Pine.
I'm a simple girl. I like simple things. And by simple things, I mean Chris Pine, Glenn Powell, Lee Pace.
Sody Pops,
Diet Coke.
Your salt of the earth.
Soju.
Rom-coms,
lasagna. 7 things I like about you.
The big 7.
My big 7.
You know how God had a big 10? You got a big 7.
Big 10. I've never heard anyone say those words.
You know when God did his big one?
This episode is like my favorite book. It is so unhinged.
Okay. I'm going to finish the rest of my list. 1. Seeing him ride down the country road on a very comically large front wheel bike. Very funny. That's funny. That's the only time in the movie I actively laughed very loudly. Guffawed. Stan Lee cameo. Loved that.
Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah.
I better if you and I get married.
I don't know why he was in this movie. But
just for shits and gigs. If there's one thing Garry Marshall is going to do is shit and gig.
That's what we're doing right now. Or so we thought.
We are. We're shitting and giggling.
Yeah, that's my major likes.
I just thought of the phrase, because you know it's shits and giggles. I just, for some reason, I went shittles and giggles.
Could go for some Skittles right now. Could go for like a few Oreos and some Skittles.
And peanut butter.
Oh, come on, Lilo.
Okay, are those all your likes?
Oh, we're going back on the rails now? Okay. Yeah, those are all my likes.
I don't know. Who knows?
You know what we could do? I don't have that many dislikes. I feel like we can fast track the dislikes. I'm just going to say 1 dislike.
Okay. Do it.
I'm going to say 2 dislikes. 1. The character of Lily felt unnecessary, and she's not a very good actress in this movie. Could have taken all of those scenes out. They added nothing. 2, I wish there was more of the romance between Nicholas and Mia, because what little we did see was very good. But this movie was long as hell. It was like 2 hour long.
2 hours. This is like the original Endgame. Like, are you kidding? I was like, oh, Princess Diaries 2, I can watch that in an hour and 15 minutes, 30 minutes max. I started the movie, I was 20 minutes in, and I was like, okay, let me see how much longer is left. It was like an hour and 45 minutes left. I said, Molly, we gotta start later.
I watched this movie in 3 installments to make proper notes on it. Yeah, it's a long-ass movie, and I think the reason it's so long is because they were like, we need to make Andrew Jacoby, her fiance in the movie, who's like arguably very nice, young, aristocratic English man, who she was going to be married to in order to take the throne of Genovia, which, by the way, we didn't say anything about the premise of this movie, but that's the premise right there. Because no unmarried woman can take the throne of Genovia. So she was going to get married to this guy. He's nice enough. And I think that they had to spend time making it so that we knew he was a nice guy. And we knew that they did get along, but they weren't in love. And we knew that they were both putting their royal duties before. They were putting their country before their heart, essentially. But it felt very fucking long. And I'm like, damn, I really would have loved some more of the interactions between Nicholas and Mia.
Yeah, because it did feel like, let's just jump into the romance a little bit, because my dislikes are all my dislikes are similar to yours, except like if I had to be nitpicky, and the only reason why I'm bringing these up is because I have to be nitpicky. Like I want to say something, but these things don't really matter because, again, this is a movie for like teens, preteens, you know? So it's like geopolitical kind of issues and the conversations in Parliament and how Parliament is like the size of this room. And there's like 15 guys, you know?
This was like in that one Olsen Twins movie where they did Model UN and they had to like...
Which is a movie I love.
Love that movie. To this day, I will not hear a single piece of disrespect about that movie. But it very much was like...
About any Olsen movie. And about any Olsen Twins movie, if you even say one bad thing, you're cut.
What did you say about my brother? Say it again to my face.
I just wish you did a TikTok and it pans to your brother and it's just the Olsen Twins' 2 faces on the CGI lion.
Wait, let me do my Olsen face.
I'll do mine.
You're Mary Kate, I'm Ashley, obviously.
Obviously!
Oh my god, my ears just got blown out.
So sorry.
Rapunzel, wrap it up.
Imagine the biggest Birkin bag.
Yeah.
And this blazer being 10 times bigger than it is.
You just look David Byrne.
I was going to say David Byrne-esque, but...
This is not my beautiful house.
This is not my beautiful wife.
This is not my sane podcast.
This is not my favorite book called Unhinged. Anyways, back to the...
Tell me, what else do you want to say about the romance?
I was just quickly going through my dislikes. So, geopolitical issues, arbitrary laws that for some reason are so important that get brought up like literally when a month away from coronation. No one has brought it up since then, like before. That's crazy. 2, all of the random accents. No cohesive accent or cultural like identity except fucking pears.
This is a very culturally ambiguous European country. It's giving Luxembourg. Like, no one really knows what the national language is, but it's kind of close to France. It's kind of close to Germany, kind of close to Sweden.
Like, if all of the countries of Europe were in a Venn diagram and they were all of their tips were touching inside of a circle, that would be
just
Genovia.
the tip.
Like, that's literally just the tip. Just only, respectfully. That would be Genovia, because what the fuck You got Americans. You got British. You got French. You
Italians,
got Germans.
Russians.
Italians, Russians. You got people of color.
Dude, I don't even know what to say about Raven's character. Not her character. Raven's character in this movie was like totally like fine, acceptable. Honestly, wish she was in more of the movie because I felt like they kind of set it up like they had a close friendship, but then they didn't really show her at all. Honestly, would have loved to sub Raven in for any scene that Lily was in. That would have been a great choice. But
I agree.
The costumes they put Raven in.
I almost made a paper like hat that she wore, but then I went, twicky subject, so I'm not going to do that.
Literally, even Raven, a woman of color, wearing that hat felt like, this feels disrespectful.
Yeah, in her very American accent.
If you sat someone down and you held their eyes open, Clockwork Orange style, you threw a very quick slideshow of like African national like ceremonial dress in front of them for like 5 minutes straight. Each image was only shown for 0.3 seconds. And then you told them, draw that outfit. That's what they would draw. It's, again, much like the country of Genovia, a very ambiguous melange of vaguely African motifs. And I say African, I know it's a continent. I want you to know that I know it's they just said Africa. Yeah.
That's the point we're trying to make.
Yeah.
So exactly that thing. And then I want to say the random romance between Lily and the guard. The prettiest girls riding in the stein. That guy.
I felt every time he said anything, I felt cringed.
Yeah. It would have made more sense if Lily got with Andrew.
Yeah.
Because they were, like, together a lot.
I really don't know why Lily was in this movie because she didn't have an impact on anything that happened. She didn't even give, like, Mia, like, moral support at any point.
She gave her moral support to go meet with Nicholas.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of fucked up, by the way, Lily. That's kind of bad friend advice.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah. She was very supportive.
She was like, do what you want to do, girl. I'm just here. Except, you have the opportunity to go sneak off and fuck around in the moonlight. Go do that. Sis, your best friend is like a head of state.
Yeah.
Do you want to maybe protect her reputation? Maybe
also,
try?
Like, you didn't lock the door to her bedroom so that the queen could literally walk in and wake her up gently. You didn't set an alarm to be like, is she back? Should I go look for her? Like, you're kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
You know?
Lily, really, I don't like Lily. She's continuing her kind of track record from the first movie, in my opinion.
Oh my god, she was a little bitch in the first movie.
She was a little bitch. She was such a brat.
She was a little rude.
And not in a cute, like, lime green way. She was just a brat, like a rat. Like Shanice. Do you have any quotes that you like? Wait, are you done with your dislikes?
Yeah.
I have one other dislike. At the beginning, when you first see the queen, her like royal PA or whatever, like the blonde lady, her haircut clapped, bruv. Really toasted.
That's Garry Marshall's daughter. You're gonna talk about her like that?
Every other scene, her hair looks great and normal. That one scene, it looked like a guinea pig on top of a wig.
Oh my
Bobby
god!
pinned to the back of her head. Yeah,
I'm gonna look at it.
Re-look at that.
I'm gonna re-look at that. I'm gonna zoom in.
Double click on it.
Oh, one other dislike I like. One other dislike I have is at the beginning when she just graduates from school and then she's writing her diary. She's like, oh, diary. This is what's been going on. Oh, you're asking about Lily? Like, it's just, again, I get why it's happening because you're catching up. Like, it's such a...
boring exposition.
It's just exposition, you know? It's like, oh, and this person, this is what they're doing now. And anyways, again, I'm being nitpicky. Like, I get the purpose it serves. I don't have to like it at my big age of 32 years old now, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then for the womance is something that definitely shaped me to be the woman I am today. Like anything Chris Pine has ever done. You know a romance is real when in the movie soundtrack you have Norah Jones.
You've said that before. You always say that.
If there's one thing I say, is that a romance is not real until Norah Jones plays in the background. And Norah Jones covering a Elvis Presley song, bro.
You thought you saw love before, but now get ready for this.
Get ready for double love. This was my maybe first introduction to like enemies to lovers. maybe except for Clueless. They weren't really enemies. They were bickering because they were brother and sister. Step siblings. But yeah, I love their dynamic. I think that Anne Hathaway and Chris Pine should have done more together over the last 20 years. I think it's an actual crime to society and general humanity that they haven't been in more things together.
Actually, a human rights and HIPAA violation.
Where's Amal Clooney? We need her on the case.
We need UNICEF? NATO? I don't know. What's the one that gathers? United Nations. We need
United Colors of Benetton?
We need some cotton, 100% cotton t-shirts with just Sailor Moon graphics to sort this out for us.
We do need that. If anyone wants to send us that would be nice. Thank you.
Non-spawn.
Yet.
There's a wide open opportunity for you to sponsor a growing Canadian podcast. We are so funny. We are so cute.
We are so funny and so unhinged. Imagine if Unhinged sponsored us. That'd be so fucking funny.
I would have so many questions. Let's just change our podcast to just interviewing authors who write. Chuck Tingle.
Chuck Tingle. Vera Valentine. That's who wrote Unhinged.
Oh, great name, honestly, for such a premise of this book.
Vivi. I hope she does this.
Vivi for Vendetta. Her signature is actually just a W because it's 2 V's. And they're like, what is it? She's like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's my tag. I have some good quotes.
Okay.
Here,
you don't have anything to say about the romance?
Is that all I needed to say? It's great.
What did you say? Oh, it's great.
I said, I wanted more. I wanted more.
Yes.
I loved what I saw. I wish there was more of those just getting to know each other scenes. Yeah.
I just really want to talk about the archery scene where he's teaching her to shoot the arrow. And
very, very sensual.
Very sensual. Both of them in blue. Him looking down at her from behind.
Oh yeah,
bro.
That was.
I would have shot that arrow into my own foot. Are you kidding?
The way my knees would have been clacking together like a cartoon skeleton.
He's like, touch your mouth. I'm like, okay. And he would have put his arm on me. And I would be like,
like Miss Piggy. The noise Miss Piggy does when she's frustrated or surprised.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. Are you kidding?
I would have been silently screaming, my mouth hanging open. What is that fucking painting?
The Scream?
The Scream by, no, don't tell me.
It's with an M.
Edvard Munch. I knew this.
People can say that we're silly and we're two yappa girls, but we drop. And they would be right, unfortunately. But we throw in some very cultural, arty, literary, filmography, cinephilic references, okay?
Put it on a hat, embroider it. I want to see that shit. Oh, actually, can I add one more thing?
To what?
Chris Pine?
Yeah.
And me and Andrew's wedding, they get to the front, they call it off. She goes, you know what, guys? All the members of parliament are here. I actually think we should abolish this rule where you have to be married in order to be queen. Mm-hmm. And Lord Maybury stands up in the audience and he starts yapping about how she needs to be married if she wants to be queen. She can't be queen. This brazen hussy wants to be queen. She doesn't even have a ring on it. Don't worry, gentle people of Genovia, there is another heir, and it's my nephew. And then Nicholas comes in, he goes, I do not accept. Mia will be a great queen. I am not helping you with this anymore. And then Mabry chases Nicholas out of the church into this little vestibule, and they're having a chat, and Nicholas says, enough, puts his foot down. Mabry says, it's okay, we can fix this. All we have to do is, and then Nicholas goes, enough. And he holds up one singular gloved hand, and he goes, we're finished. I felt something. I was looking with my eyes, and every other part of me as well was looking. When he put his hand up and so authoritatively said, silence, with his little cunty little glove on too, I was like, I really like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what did Mabry do? He STFU because he was taken aback.
Yeah. Finally.
Finally.
This young blue-eyed man stood up to him.
Yeah.
Niccolo Machiavelli's namesake. Can I say one more thing?
You can say one more thing.
It's just so funny to me that he's always popping out of like doorways. He's always waiting behind a pillar until his right moment, and he
Plotting.
he just shows up. I find that funny, but it's just when he's trying to romance her, must romance her nephew. He's like, okay. I like the idea that he's like this womanizer, even though we barely see him womanizing.
Yeah. The only woman's one woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Womanizes.
And he's like pretty respectful of her.
Yeah.
Not that like
Nicholas doesn't have girlfriends. He just has dates. And then he just there's a very nice lady and he's having a very respectful, nice daytime date with her at like a garden party. He's crazy. He's crazy. He's off the rails. I just like how he immediately like he kind of falls in love with her because he's really like laying it on thick and he's trying to be a Lothario. Their moonlight date is the stuff of dreams. Not the mist rising off the lake. Ugh, while they're slow dancing and I was gagged. And then falling asleep on him and being so intimate. Doing 20 questions under a tree. Playing thumb wars so they're intimately touching. I'm like, what are you doing here, Mia? What are you doing? Your wedding's in 2 days. 2 days, Mia. Mia, no, stop. I feel the opposite about what Mia is doing 2 days before her wedding than I did about what John Cusack was doing 2 days before his wedding in Serendipity. And the situations are not all that different. It's just better writing and better characterization. I agree with you. I will also put in the also ring. They're more respectful. Yes. I will also say, one, everybody here knows, everyone in this room knows, she's not marrying for love. She literally went through a catalog and was like, this guy, I picked this guy. First date. I also really like Andrew. I would have loved to... Oh. If it was a different story and they would have gotten together, I would have been like, this is a great couple. They look great together. He is very nice, very handsome, very sweet, very attentive, adoring. A gentle, kind man. Like, he seems delightful. He knows his role. He's just a duke. He knows that she is the queen. You know? Yeah. And he is respectful of that. He's ready to be like a little bit of a trophy husband, honestly. Yeah. But like, he's like the boyfriend who takes videos of his influencer girlfriend for her. Yes. He is definitely an Instagram boyfriend. Yes, yes, yes. So I like that. But I will say, I feel like the difference is because we know that she's not marrying for love when like John Cusack was with his girl apparently for a couple of years. And two, it's Chris Pine. What are we, women made of rocks? That I'm not going to be susceptible to Chris Pine? What am I? Ice cold hearts? What are we? Ice cold hearts? What am I? I'm not the North Pole? What am I? The Arctic Circle? I'm going to be a cold. I'm going to give the cold shoulder to Chris Pine. What am I? Snow Queen? Ice Princess? Michelle Trachtenberg? No. I'm going to sneak out of my palace. You give me Chris Pine, I give you Chris Pine. What do you want? It's Chris Pine. So, like, Chris Pine. Chris Pine. Who can blame literally any Mia? Any of us in this situation would have Mia'd. Yeah. I'm not throwing rocks. I'm not throwing stones at her. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is for like a preteen movie, the romance is very good. And I think that has a lot to do with Chris Pine. And Anne Hathaway, but mostly Chris Pine, because like you need a rom-com lead who looks at women the way he looks at women. That's what you need. That's what makes an effective rom-com. And we have said it from day one. We literally have. We have always said it. We have always said it. Someone who can look adoringly at a woman. Sold. That's what that's our biggest fantasy. Women are not so mysterious. We just want the yearn. We yearn for the yearn. Gurn? We do. But yeah, quotes. Let's do quotes. Like when they're handing out at the parade, they're handing out the crowns to like the little kids and orphans and stuff. Oh my God. They put the crowns on their heads and you just hear one lady say, "Just like the princess." You want to go for a pint? Just like the princess. Oh my God. That's the thing about Garry Marshall movies too, is that he's going to turn the audio up.
micing people. He's ADRing these random fucking lines. That's a lot of the like quotes that are funny.
I like when they're having like a your horse is bigger than mine competition, and she pronounces Papua New Guinea Papua New Guinea.
I didn't even hear that.
Papua, and I went pause. Furiously writes down Papua New Guinea. Another quote I wrote down is when the Queen says, "Thank you, culinary people."
I also wrote that down.
Love that one.
Yep.
I loved when the Queen said, "Nepotism belongs in the arts, not in plumbing." And my ultimate favorite quote, one of my top quotes of all time. I'm dead serious. When Joe and Viscount Mabry are having their face off, where Joe's like, yes, step down, Mabry. You're acting a little crazy. Remember, the Queen and Princess Mia have me behind them, and I don't fuck around. He said, I have diplomatic immunity in 46 countries, including Puerto Rico. Viscount Mabry says, sir, you will find that the word fear is not in my vocabulary. And Joe says, perhaps, but it is in your eyes.
Boom. And Viscount Mabry was boom. His knees buckling, his teeth chattering. Scared.
His breath wavering. He was shuckety.
I wrote that down too because it's such a good line. Because it's like literally this is a fun princess rom-com movie. Literally, Joe, he's in the fucking Sopranos. He's in a different franchise. He's in Goodfellas, that's the good thing about him. He's not fucking around. He might have the love of his life, but he's not fucking around.
Puerto Rico. Remember, maybe jot that down.
Yeah. He said diplomatic immunity. Anything I can do is to protect church and state. So, like that.
The eagle and the sparrow.
And then
I keep all my birds in one nest, you little psycho.
And then he flops the rubber snake that Mabry tried to sabotage her thing with.
Yeah.
He did. He just so casually drops it on him. He's like, I know it was you. You literally could be tried for treason, but I'm gonna give you a chance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, if I was Joe, I don't think it would have been that gracious.
No.
But maybe Joe has context that we don't have. These Game of Thrones complications, these subtleties that we don't know about. Because we don't have a lot of insight into the political spectrum, the political landscape of Genovia. We don't know too much. Neither does Mia, apparently. So we're right there along for the ride with her.
That's another dislike. Even though she fucking majored in political science, some of these things, she's like, arranged marriage? Who would do such a thing? Literally all of the royals in all of history.
Yeah.
Every single one. Every single one. What did you do in school? What were you doing? Hello?
Get educated.
Yeah. Rip up that degree.
Mia, read a book.
One of my quotes, I liked the scene preceding the one with Joe and Viscount Mabry. He's talking to Nicholas, and he doesn't say, Nicholas, leave the princess alone. Nicholas, fuck off. He just goes up to him, and he's like, Nicholas, am I going to be disappointed in you? And I was like, damn, that's cutting.
Cold.
Because it just implies that, Joe already inherently, likes him. He sees good in him. He thinks he's a nice, pleasant young man.
Because Joe's a good judge of character.
Because Joe is a good judge of character.
Yeah.
So he can see a good character. But then when Nicholas is doing these things and he just goes up to him and he goes, am I going to be disappointed in you? Are you going to prove me wrong? I was like, damn, that's such a nice way to put that. That's sick. I want to pull that out more, It
was understated a little bit. The subtext of that was very loaded, which is actually pretty subtle for this movie, but
right?
Really, really good. Yeah.
That's what I mean about some of this movie is so silly. Johnny Woo singing ching ching chong chang chong.
Who the hell is he?
Who knows, bro? I didn't know. I just know him as this. Why are you getting a white man to sing the song from the first movie to Asians? Get an Asian person. You literally just had an Asian person on screen.
Yeah,
What
I
the
didn't
fuck?
understand. I'm like, is he famous? I don't
I
know.
have no idea. But yeah, that's one of the quotes I liked. We already talked about like Viscount Mabry being the cuntiest cunt. Like actually like put some eyelashes on him and put him in heels. He's a drag queen.
Yeah.
For sure. One of the moments when she's doing the parade and she stops it because she sees the orphan kids and she goes over to them and Nicholas is like so enamored by her. And he's like, oh, she stopped the parade. And he goes, how rude.
And what else did he say? He was like, kissing babies.
Yeah.
So pedestrian.
Hugging orphans. What a disgusting political trick. Manipulation. And she's literally like, okay, everybody's a princess. And he's like, oh!
His delivery of that line. Oh my god, I'm serving Anne Boleyn right now.
Rest in peace.
For those of you who are just watching, I just mimed getting my head chopped off.
For those of you just listening and not watching.
That's what I meant to say.
Rest in peace, Anne Boleyn. Okay. In Parliament, when the Queen says, shut up to Maybury, and then the Prime Minister is trying to cover her tracks, he's like, oh, in America, they say shut up is like, and it's not the Prime Minister, like he's running off things that he's saying, and then it's the guy who's
the translator?
Like, the translator or the typist or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's down there, he's like, oh, he's trying to add to it. He's like, oh, it's like a fantastique. And
I like how he was speaking in French, like implying that was like francophone. So the guy who is dictating the parliament sessions is being like, I'm helping by telling you the translation of what the prime minister is saying. You're all speaking the same language.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And yet we have this silly little Frenchman down here being like, c'est comme ça. Dans l'Amérique, on dit comme wow, comme zut alors, you know, boyoyoing, fantastique.
Fantastique. Oy vey.
Oy vey.
The guy who is the, like, announcer, the guy who's like, tick, Amelia Mionette, like that guy, at the sleepover, at the slumber party, the little princess, the littlest princess, and she tugs on his robes and she tells him, and he goes, Princess Ami has to go potty. And then it's just all silent. And then the maids come and get her and they go potty. And then he reinstates the party.
As you were. Yeah.
As you were. He also says the line when he introduces Amelia. And then her cat runs in after her and he goes, and her royal pussycat, Fat Louis.
This cat really has the run of the place.
He does. Oh, and then my favorite line that I quote like monthly, I want to say.
Oh, I know what it's going to be.
Make all the boy moose go, huh?
Have you seen the remix of that scene with a behind the scenes clip from Supernatural of Sam, who they nickname Moose in the show, going, huh? I'm going to send it to you after this.
Those are my two interests just coming together.
Supernatural and Princess Diaries.
Too, specifically.
Princess Diaries Dose. Endgame.
2 Princess, 2 Diaries. And then all of the like heartfelt kind of lines didn't super resonate with me because they were kind of like cheesy. I mean, I find them cheesy now. When I was younger, the most like inspirational one was when she was leading the orphan kids and she was like, in order to be a princess, you have to believe that you're a princess. Because it's just more about self-confidence. And I was like, that's nice.
She was really giving herself advice because at the beginning we saw a little glimpse into her imposter syndrome where she was like, will I ever be ready to be queen, dear diary?
And then I just want to say it as a whole, but like the whole song that Queen Clarice sings at the slumber party. Oh my god, we didn't even talk about her fucking cunty little pajama outfit with the hood. With the hood that gracefully falls down after she's done mattress sliding. I was like, whatever that outfit is, I need it. I would never sleep in it.
I didn't really like the song interlude.
Oh. I only like it because it's Julie Andrews singing.
It's Julie Andrews.
It's Julie Andrews. And all I think about, I literally was crying at that scene because I love Julie Andrews so much to the point where I have been like, you know when you look at your dog and you're like, I don't want you to die because I'm going to be so sad?
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Julie Andrews. For years, I have been like, when she passes away, I am going to be an absolute wreck. Absolute wreck. Anyways, what would you give this movie?
I would give this movie 9 flaming arrows on the bullseye out of 10. What about you?
I would give this movie 10 pear-flavored popcorn out of 10.
I think about that a lot, actually.
I want to know what that tastes like.
I want to try it.
I want to try it too.
Because if it's a little salty still, I could fuck with that.
Oh my God. Can I talk about how there's just a random scene where Nicholas is making a chocolate souffle for the queen?
Yeah, there's so much unsaid there. Like
this
what do you
movie,
mean you're going to drop that in and then not show us like any more interactions between the two of them or him cooking or anything? Like, I need more context.
Yeah, like I just feel like this movie was almost 2 hours. I feel like they cut out so much.
Yeah.
And I get why we could have done with a little less of whatever, but like, why was he cooking? Why is he making her a chocolate souffle, which is a kind of hard thing to make?
They did mention earlier, oh no, that wasn't him. He didn't have a profile on like Princess Tinder.
Oh my God, I would love Princess Tinder. I mean, we don't hear about like modern princesses complaining about this thing, but like, how nice is it? Like, Mia, you could marry for love. Like, they're just presenting you with guys. You just have to meet them. Like, they're literally coming to you. Hello? She's like, I want to marry for love. Girl, no one is telling you to marry the first fucking black ass dude. Like, they're gonna give you Princess Tinder. Prinder.
You could do like, you could go on like 1 date a day for 2 weeks. You have a month.
You have 1 month.
You're good,
You
girl.
have unlimited time. Like, what else are you doing?
Also, why wasn't Nicholas even an option?
Why wasn't he an option? Wouldn't that have been the smartest thing to do? And I feel like the queen should have said that. She would have been like, I invited him here. Keep your enemies closer. And then, but she's like looking and seeing how hot he is. She's like,
that would have been better.
Can I ask you something?
You may.
Doesn't that mean that they're related in some way? Or is it like so far apart that it's like fine?
Oh no, Kat.
Because I was thinking about this.
My
but I feel
don't take this away from
No. I don't think I'm taking it away because the way that Mabry described it in Parliament was like, it's like such far up cousins. Like it's such far up grandparents. Because he said great, 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 great. So I think it's like up here. And like technically, depending on what you believe, we're all kind of related.
Well, certainly the royals are.
Well, certainly.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
So if it was 6 generations of separation, they're sharing like, what is 6 to the power of 4?
No, I'm not the person to ask.
Okay. I'll ask Maxine after we record this. But they're 6 to the power of 4 ratio of same DNA.
Yeah. Which is like most white people anyways, right?
Kat's like, I'm not familiar with your culture. Are you guys like cousins or what? I don't know how y'all do things in Scandinavia, but honey. Kat, where can the people find you?
The people can find me at It's Catherine Ram on any social media. Molly, where can the people find you?
The people can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Molly's Outbox. And to all my American friends, welcome back to TikTok. You can also find VomCom on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at VomCom Podcast.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this very capital U Unhinged episode. Let's see how long it is and how much of what. Let's see if it makes sense. That's up to you, dear listeners. That's up to you to figure out what the hell makes sense. Because we don't know.
And will it make sense? I guess that's one thing we'll never know. Okay, farewell.
The eagle is leaving. The eagle is leaving.
The perfect ending.